I'm your host, Davina Shensky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits to Reach for Personal Success on a Daily Basis. Today's presentation: Are you a highly sensitive person? 8 valuable tips to help you live as a highly sensitive person. You're too sensitive. You feel way too much. If you've ever heard this from someone, then you may be interested in learning what it really means to be a highly sensitive person. Let me first start by saying being sensitive is not a negative trait. It, if others have belittled you for feeling too much or being too emotional, know that their perceptions were skewed. They may have been downright rude in judging you. The term highly sensitive person was coined by Elaine Aron, a psychologist who also has done a lot of research on the topic. She describes HSPs as having higher sensory processing sensitivity. Essentially, this means that it's not personally flawed, it's actually a biology factor. So there's 12 signs that you may be a highly sensitive person. If you're a highly sensitive person, you may be sensitive to your emotions. You feel things deeply. Have a stronger reaction to things like noise, light, hunger, pain, strong sense. Have a tough time multitasking, and you like to focus on one thing at a time. You may pick up on others' emotions. You tend to enjoy solitude. You may be hypersensitive, scanning to be sure that you are safe. You may have increased anxiety or a dysregulated nervous system. You have a tough time watching violence. You have an uncanny ability to deeply appreciate things, nature, beauty, and so on. You have extra strong reaction to criticism. You have a deep, rich, complex inner life. You may feel ultra empathetic, a strong energy antenna. Essentially, if you're highly sensitive, your brain is wired a bit differently neurologically. It's like your energy antenna picks up on signals that many others don't. For example, someone who is a highly sensitive person may pick up on a dog barking a few miles away, making it tough for them to fall asleep. Their partner may not hear a thing, or the person who can walk into a room and feel dense, heavy energy that causes them to feel nauseous, while their partner doesn't feel a thing. Highly sensitive people statistics. According to Psychology Today, around 15 to 20% of the population can identify as being highly sensitive. To determine if you are a highly sensitive person, Elaine and Art Aron developed a highly sensitive person scale back in the 90s that helps you identify if you are highly sensitive. Tips for highly sensitive people. If you are someone that you know identifies as highly sensitive, know that you're not alone. And there are plenty of things that you can do to manage life as a highly sensitive person. using it to your advantage. The more you learn about HSPs, the more you'll be able to embrace your sensitivity level and adapt to it. As with any personality trait, there are strengths and weaknesses. So let's focus on the strengths and recognize that you have an uncanny ability to sense a lot of things that others simply can't. It's like your superpower. 8 valuable tips to navigate life as an HSP. Embrace the arts of music. Many HSPs report that they love diving into the arts and music, finding it therapeutic. Enjoy deep and meaningful connections. Isolating may not serve you well. Find 1 or 2 people to form deep, meaningful connections with and enjoy such rich friendships. If you can find someone else who is an HSP, that's even better. You'll be able to relate well and understand each other better. Practice self care regularly. Enjoy a healthy diet. Get adequate rest. Limit caffeine and take adequate time to yourself to get refreshed and revived. Seek out a therapist if you're a truly struggling with being highly sensitive. Recognize that things that overwhelm you, then do your best to stay away from them. Harsh movies, loud noise, crowds, and whatever. Be up front with your loved ones about your sensitivity levels. This can help you feel more relaxed around them and help them understand you better. Have solid boundaries. This is easy to fall into people pleasing behaviors as an HSP. We sure, or rather, be sure that you can say no when you truly don't want to do something and don't feel bad about it. What you want and need matter. Have safe space to call your own. You may need some quiet downtime regularly. Set up a safe space somewhere at home or in your yard for me time. Turn off your phone and simply enjoy the peace and quiet in a space that's solely yours. When being a highly sensitive person causes problems, if you're an HSP and you're experiencing problems that you haven't been able to handle on your own, reach out for help. There are therapists that specialize in the HSP field, and they can help you learn how to navigate life in helpful ways. Do some research online and see if there is a specialist in your area, or look into telehealth options. Many therapists are offering therapy online via video chat these days, which is wonderful as this gives you more options. If you're a highly sensitive person, embrace this trait and celebrate your unique wiring. Learn more about how you can enjoy the favorable characteristics and manage any that you deem as troublesome or negative. It's all right to be highly sensitive. Be uniquely you without apology. Let's end with an encouraging quote by Anton St. Marston. Highly sensitive people are too often perceived as weaklings or damaged goods to feel intensely is not a symptom of weakness. It is the trademark of the truly alive and compassionate. It is not the empath who is broken. It is society that has become dysfunctional and emotionally disabled. There is no shame in experiencing your authentic feelings, those who are at times described as being a hot mess or having too much issues are the very fabric of what keeps the dream alive for a more caring, humane world. Never be ashamed to let your tears shine a light on this world, said Anton St. Marsden. And in my case, I would say to an extent, I'm a highly sensitive person, but it can also be the fact that I'm knowledgeable about body language, and my background is mental health and psychology because I find that when I'm around someone over a period of time, I can get a feeling of what they're really like. And whether or not it's because I've encountered people like that before or, or whatever, but being highly sensitive helps you tune in to someone else's behavior and be able to understand where they're coming from. And that means you're better able to help them when they want to be helped and when they are ready to make a change.